Lots of new conversation is surrounding the WWE Women's title, so we're going to get into that. We're also going to check out what is up with Roman Reigns, with Nakamura, and more. Starting things off with Chelsea Green and a lot of updates surrounding the WWE Women's title. Hot topic in recent days amongst the community has been the label of interim women's champion. WWE decided to let Rhea Ripley hold on to the championship through her injury and created an interim championship, most likely because, well, they assumed that Rhea Ripley would recover pretty fast and be ready to return at least by the fall. But with that recent development of Rhea actually needing surgery on that injured knee, that has, of course, dramatically delayed Rhea's return to the ring. Reports are labeling even Royal Rumble 2027 in January as a possible time frame for a return for Rhea. So with Rhea now expected to miss much more time than originally expected, has fans wondering if they're really going to stick with that whole entire interim championship and let Rhea hold the title all the way until her return in late 2026, early 2027. Or is it a case that they're just going to pull the plug on this whole interim narrative and they're just going to quietly strip Rhea of the title, making Chelsea Green the actual women's champion? Well, so far, the conversation is all over the place, and reports are all over the place as well. You got some reports claiming that WWE is going to be quietly dethroning Rhea Ripley and labeling Chelsea Green as the official WWE Women's Champion here in the very near future following the news of Rhea's surgery. But WWE has yet to actually make that move, and we're instead seeing some mixed signals, at least from them at the time that I'm recording this. Chelsea Green has been announced as the WWE Women's Champion on the August 7th edition of Smackdown, but the graphic nameplate still had her listed as the interim champion. The WWE's official website also shows Chelsea Green as both the WWE Women's Champion and also the interim champion, so it's a little messy of a situation there right now. The big rumor out there, though, is that the interim label is going to be pulled real soon and Rhea is going to quietly relinquish the title. But we're going to have to see if that actually happens because, again, it's a rumor. It's definitely not a normal thing in modern-day WWE for a champion to hold onto a title throughout an entire surgery recovery. So we're just going to have to see what move they decide to make there. But, speaking of one injured women's champion, guess what? The new one just got injured as well. Chelsea Green was not only pinned during her first match as women's champion on August 7th, but she was also injured during that same match as well. After reports started leaking online about Chelsea being hurt, she took to Instagram herself to confirm the news. She said that she originally wanted to keep the injury private, but since it leaked already online, she might as well talk about it. Chelsea said that she spent the night in the emergency room with a broken orbital bone. And Chelsea acknowledged that although it does look normal and okay, it feels awful, and she's suffering a lot of head trauma at the moment. She said how she usually plays into injuries and makes the most of them, but this one feels a little bit different and how she's frustrated by it. Chelsea said that she's going to take some time to heal up and then see what happens next. It's heartbreaking news there for Chelsea Green. She has this amazing moment of finally reaching the top of the mountain, and then she gets hurt just a few days later. Sounds like Chelsea doesn't know what this actually means for her title reign. Sounds like she's not sure if they're going to allow her to hold on to the title and recover, like they're doing with Rhea, or if they're going to strip her of the title. And if they try to strip Chelsea of that title right now, you're going to have a lot of fans that are really upset, and they're going to point out the double standard of how Rhea was allowed to keep her title throughout 3 months of being injured, so why the heck can't Chelsea get a little bit of time to recover and hold on to the title? So, a little bit of a tricky situation there with this whole new injury to Chelsea Green and the uncertainty of what exactly it means for the future of her title reign. Now, having said all of that, if Chelsea is able to make a quick recovery and they do allow her to hold on to the title, the August 7th edition of SmackDown did lightly tease some directions for Chelsea's title reign. Now, during the tag team match itself, Chelsea Green was pinned by Fatal Influence, likely meaning that Fatal Influence no doubt is going to make a claim that they are owed a title shot in the future. And then on top of that, you got Legend and Jax going out there to take Chelsea Green out, and then that moment ends with Jax standing over Chelsea Green with the women's title in her hand. So, assuming that Chelsea recovers from her injury and she gets back quickly, seems like Jax could be one of those first few challengers for Chelsea to face. Just a monstrous heel that is going to be a challenge for the underdog babyface champion to overcome, and she's going to have to dig down deep in order to find a way to beat her. So you got a lot going on right now between the interim label potentially being dropped, the first feud getting set up, and then on top of all of it, Chelsea's serious injury. So quite a lot to monitor there with this entire scene involving the women's title. Stay tuned on that. The community is currently buzzing about Nakamura because he just revealed on Smackdown that he's no longer alone and how he has put together a faction to help him take on the MFTs. Nakamura put a lot of emphasis on how he was no longer going to be handling this alone. So, this has opened up a massive discussion in regards to everybody trying to guess who exactly is Nakamura's backup against MFT. Since there's currently only 2 active members in MFT, Nakamura technically only needs the help of one more person by his side, but at the same time, he can bring even more, right? And so a lot of crazy guesses are being made by the community right now. Fans think that Solo Sikoa is a possible candidate. I mean, who else better to assist Nakamura in the fight against the MFTs than the man who brought these individuals into the company in the first place? Solo Sikoa has turned babyface in recent weeks, and maybe he could cement his turn by helping Nakamura finish off what's left of his creation. And lots of fans are also looking at Finn as potential solid help against the MFTs. Lots of history shared there between Finn, Nakamura, and the MFTs, so judging based off of history alone, maybe it makes more sense for Finn to be the one who gets involved here. Finn, by the way, he doesn't have much going on at the moment, and he did have a few backstage segments with MFT when he first came over to SmackDown, so maybe it's a spot for him to slide into and keep him busy for a while. Fans are also looking at NXT's Naraku to potentially join in and serve as help for Nakamura. Some fans are even bringing up Dragunov, who hasn't been seen on WWE television in months. Could he be linking up with Nakamura here in this spot? A lot of fans are hyped up, to say the least, to see who's going to end up being that mystery backup for Nakamura. Is it one extra person? Is it 2 people that he's bringing in? Definitely has fans hyped, and hopefully the reveal of Nakamura's new army lives up to the hype that's currently being built up for it. Braun Strowman has been away from WWE for a few years now, but he has seen a lot of success in the meantime with his Everything on the Menu show. But Strowman went trending this week after randomly taking a little jab at Roman Reigns and dropping a big reminder. Strowman took to his social media platforms to say that since it was a hot topic in wrestling at the moment, he wants everyone to remember that there would be no tribal chief without him and the long rivalry that he had with Roman Reigns in the late 2010s. And then he closed that post off with several hashtags that were mentioning how he was stirring the pot, how the meltdowns were about to start, and asking the question of how Roman Reigns was going to look if Braun Strowman never agreed to do the job and put Roman over. And as Braun expected, there were a lot of reactions from the community to that post. You had a lot of fans that agreed with Braun Strowman, and then you had a lot of fans that didn't agree that much. But Braun Strowman clearly wants all of the credit for playing a role in creating the big star that Roman Reigns is in the current day. Needless to say. But anyway, what are your thoughts on today's stories? Make sure to leave your comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.